Let's go, let's go, let's go. Alright, people wanna hate every day, it's okay.
All right, welcome back, Reckless Success. Tonight we got my buddy Mitch Wright on. Mitch,
What's up, man?
thanks for coming. I met Mitch through probably Stevie. Am I right, Lisa?
I don't even remember.
I met-
Stearns, maybe.
I met Mitch through his smoking hot wife, Stevie.
Oh yeah, you did.
that was needing some excavating work done or something. Anyways, they turned out to be a great couple. It was just a business deal. His wife is Stevie, the real estate agent that everybody around here knows from house to home. And she called. We hooked up, and I guess, yeah, the Stearns is who we know. And we all hung out at their Halloween party. And since then, we've been buddies and party busted up and go to the wine trails. And I found out more about your story, which I just know a little bit. So I met Mitch. Mitch, you served our country.
I did.
How long did you serve for?
I did 8 years active duty in the Army.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd that go for you? Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it, man.
That's awesome.
Did a couple tours in Iraq, Afghanistan. Ended up fucking my hand up overseas. Got a free ride back over here.
Okay. A little earlier than you expected.
Yeah.
With a busted up hand.
A real fucked up hand. I still wipe my ass left-handed. Come on
Really?
now. Yeah, and I'm right-handed. So
I could never. I'm going to try it tomorrow.
give it a shot tonight. See how it goes.
Oh, it's tomorrow. I'm on one a day or
Yeah,
in
there
the
you go.
morning.
Yeah.
You know, so
Like clockwork,
I'll
man.
have to
Every
look
morning,
at
7
that.
o'clock.
I need to remember that left hand in honor of Mitch.
Yeah,
See how
there
it
you go.
works out. All day long, people will be like, damn, did you shit your pants? No, I just smeared shit up my ass.
For you, Mitch.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So you wipe your ass left-handed.
Left-handed. Like a champ.
But Mitch is a carpenter, so he's also in the trades in a union. So pretty much these small rural towns, be it nurse, real estate agent, or a union trade of some sort.
Dope dealer, whatever, you know.
Yeah, the dope dealing doesn't. I mean, it pays off for a minute, but what's his name? What's our sheriff's name? Dietrich. He's putting a stop to all them dope houses.
Close for business.
Yeah, bad time to be a drug house.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, speaking of drugs, I wanted to tell a story about whenever I was addicted and I needed some anhydrous. So I'm asking around, back then I didn't know a lot of meth heads yet, but I was kind of slowly becoming one, but none of the ones I knew how to do the next step.
Weren't crafty enough yet.
Yeah, nobody knew how to make it. We were just, doing this shit on the weekends. So I put the word out that I'm looking, and this guy tells me, he's like, yeah, I know this farmer, his son. Well, the farmer had a tank that had a broken axle out in the woods or out in the field. And they let people take the anhydrous off of that, so they quit fucking with all their good shit up here that they need. So they kind of put the word out that steal it from back there. So this guy's like, this guy will take you, but he wants a 400EX. I'm like, well, I ain't got a fucking 400EX, right? So, and I never stole shit, but the few times I did, I feel bad about it. And I do have a mine name as Earl list for those people. One day when I got enough money, I'm going to take them that shit that I saw out here at Watch at Walmart when I was 12.
Yeah.
Here's fucking $12 back. Sorry. Anyways, I knew where this guy wanted a 400EX, and I knew where there was one at this drug house on the other end of town, a couple towns over. So me and my other buddy, we get this plan. All right, we're going to go. It was under this carport. My plan was I was going to come down the road, turn off my four-wheeler, coast in right up by theirs, and I was going to have a strap and a hook. And the dude's going to jump off and hop on that one. I'm going to ride off. But I'm not a fucking experienced thief. So we do the plan, come down the driveway. I shut my four-wheeler off. It wasn't yours, was it? You're not missing a 400EX. It always sucks when I tell a story and somebody's like, was that 2002?
God damn.
You son of a bitch. Anyway, so I come down this driveway. I got my goofy buddy who I never hang out with on the back. We come up under the carport. He gets off, hooks the hook, and behind the house, it was like a swooping hill down to a field. And the plan was he's just going to pull in the clutch, and I was going to take off, take it that way. And as we're coming behind the house, I don't know if he got going too fast or I hit the brakes, but the strap went around my back tire and it like sucks my four-wheeler down, sucks this one into me. Now we're like right behind this house, all fucked up. So I'm like panicking. I get my knife, I cut the rope, and dude's like, hold on, hold on. I was like, no, fuck it, let's go, because I'm afraid somebody's coming out of the house. So we leave. The next day, that dude comes over, and this is like back in the day, these meth heads were so crazy. I got the hell out of there. Wow, you know, burn out on my Raptor four-wheeler. He comes back. He thinks I'm silly. He goes back in his truck and gets the four-wheeler. Because the next day he calls me. He's like, hey, dude wants to show you how to go. We called it tapping a tank. Go get anhydrous. I'm like, all right. So I go to Christopher and there's this. I pull up to this house in town, and there's the four-wheeler that we couldn't get the night before, but my buddy went back and got. Sitting right in town, houses all around. Dude comes out, big old hillbilly. Didn't do no meth. He was an alcoholic, but he's gonna show me how to go get anhydrous.
Sounds legit.
So it was like weird. So I needed the anhydrous, and which is something that's used to make meth. And it's a fertilizer that the farmers put on the field, but it's super dangerous. If you get within so many feet and you're not acclimated to it, then you'll pass out. Like there's videos of like OSHA videos where the cops pull up on a tank leaking and they're just dropping like flies. So, but after you do it for a while, it's like anything else. There at the end, I was getting me a big old whiff of that thing. Like, yeah, I was blowing out smoke when I was in full addiction. But at this point, so this whole country boy comes out and he doesn't do meth. He just wanted a four-wheeler and he's an alcoholic. So, and his dad owns the farm. So he's like, hey buddy, come on. He's like 6'10" or whatever. And he gets on this four-wheeler and takes me around and around these back roads. I'm trying to know where I'm at so I can come back and get the rest of the tank. He's taking me to it. So after like 2 hours, he had me lost. We end up in the back of this field and we pull up this anhydrous tank and I'm like, all right, I'm paying attention. This dude smashed, I guarantee he smashed 3 beers in the 10 minutes we were there. He was like a real Budweiser alcoholic, like fucking chugging them back.
The Franklin County boys are built different, I'll tell you what.
The Franklin County boys are built different. So I was on the inside rim of the damn thing, just chopping me out of line. You know, I'm like, you want some of this? He's like, no. You want a beer? And I'm, no. So he shows me how to do it. We get out of there, and it's a real easy process. When I say that, it's not like I'm a fucking rocket science. It was turn a valve on, turn a valve off. I was like, hold on. So you're telling me I went and got this four-wheeler, and all I had to do is turn this valve on? That's it. But anyways, show me how to do it. I never seen that guy again. I was just some weird dude that was in my life. But now I know where to go up here to get this stuff. And one day, I've got a guy on back, and we go up there. I got my four-wheeler in the back of my truck, and I'm driving up close to Mulkeytown. I was going to Mulkeytown, all right? So, going up to Mulkeytown, and I seen this house getting built. I pull into the house, and it was all framed up, but it was the weekend. Like, nobody's there. I pull around the back. I unload my four-wheeler. I leave the ramps on my truck. And it was a Raptor 660, which is actually the best four-wheeler. I heard you say something about 400.
I've had them both, man. I got to stick with my Honda. Shout out Gladish Honda, West Frankfurt.
I mean, they're good, but it's just a 400.
Yeah, you got a point.
I mean, it's 400's a 400 and a 700's a 700. But, yeah, they float mean wheelies. I could float a fourth gear. I think the 400EX rides a better wheelie than a Raptor.
I agree.
But that Raptor, you get
balls
that
to
some
the
bitch
wall,
about
660
75 mile an hour, and you're balancing it. You got some old dumb broad on back as a protector.
Okay, she falls off first, whatever. Let nature take its course.
Let me backstory. One time I got in trouble because I had a helmet on. I had my girlfriend at the time on the back, and I was going like 80 down Sycamore. My uncle's chasing me. He was the chief. Coming down Sycamore, riding wheelies. Every time I'd go over, I was wide open on that Raptor. Every time I'd go over a hill, you know, I'd ride the clutch and stand it up, just screaming. And I had a helmet on. I'm smart enough. I'm gonna wear a helmet. It ain't my fault she didn't have a helmet on. That cop pulled me over later that night in my buddy's truck. Like he was looking for me. I got away, and I was drunk. I was like 17. And he said, come back to my car. And he turned around and started walking. So I was watching his feet and trying to follow because I was that drunk. And he stopped and turned around. I walked right into him. I did. I was watching his feet. So, but he was so pissed that I was riding that crazy with the girl on back. And I was like, look, bro, that's all on her.
Yeah.
Like, she's in the back seat. Go talk to her about it. I had my helmet. I had my shit on. I had boots.
Dude, I swear to God, I got a Kawasaki Mojave.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
summer of my 8th grade year, my grandparents bought it for me.
Dude, we sound like we could be best friends. Go ahead.
We could be, huh?
Yeah, keep going.
So it was a, pretty decently quick four-wheeler for a little shithead, 11-year-old. So my freshman year,
Kickstarter too.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So my freshman year, I started dating this girl, like my first serious girlfriend I ever had. And I go over to her house. She lived out other side of Frankfurt, and I was like, I'm gonna take the fucking gobs back over there, pick her up, go show her around, show her how good I can ride and shit.
What a great time it sounds like.
Oh, it was
Go
great.
ahead.
So I pull up in the driveway, and her parents are out there just worried to death. Like, should we let our daughter, our baby girl, on this four-wheeler?
Yeah, they're like, this dude's picking you up.
So
Hey,
I'm-
you're 12 and you're already sleeved up.
Hey, you
Got
want
a
to bump
beard.
pops?
Yeah.
So she gets on, I like turn around, walking the clutch out, all Billy badass, and I rip it and then that gravel, and it fucking kicks left, kicks right, and just fucking rolls over.
Oh no.
And she goes fucking sliding down the driveway. And mind you, I've had this four-wheeler for less than a year.
I've done it a lot myself.
So I pick the four-wheeler up, roll it up, and I'm like rubbing it down like on Joe Dirt when the gate gets a tail fin of his car.
Right.
Like, you all right, baby? There's my girlfriend just laying there, gravel all in her,
Oh,
just
yeah.
crying, screaming. Here comes her parents. And I was like, oh, fuck. Oh,
You're not all right.
yeah.
I think we just told one about a dude getting airlifted last week. Got right in front of where we were racing. He was on a YFC 450, and them things were fucking fast on takeoff. They couldn't outrun a Raptor wide open, but to get there, and dude got in front of me, and I hit him in the back tire because he's starting to get away from me. Turned him sideways and shot him like a rocket.
Ain't
I've
no
never
rules in
seen
racing.
somebody fly that far through the air, and then he scorpioned. It was horrible. He had to get airlifted out.
Did he make it?
Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's
Yeah.
funny then.
Yeah, he's fine. Anyways, where was I at? Oh, so me and this guy back to the anhydrous. Me and this guy unloaded this four-wheeler. It's the middle of the daytime on a weekend. And I'm like, this is the best time. Nobody expects us to go. It was raining. I was like in the rain, but my Raptor had the stator bearing was out. There's one bad thing about him. You didn't have to worry about that on a 400EX.
No.
But on this Raptor, every 6 months, I had to take the side plate off, take the stator, get the bearing out of there, because it's something to do with starting it. It just spin like the starter is bad. So we push start this fucking thing. I mean, I'm 100 pounds probably. The other meth head's about 90 maybe. It's a lot to push start a 660 on a rainy day, but we got it going. And I'm like, when we get to the co-op, I'm just going to leave it running in the back, and we'll run up, do our thing. So that's what we did. While we're up at the tank, I hear my four-wheeler pop, 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 running, and all of a sudden, pop, 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 and it died. And I was like, oh no, it's the middle of the daytime. It's raining, and now the four-wheeler's dead, and it's like a disc field right behind the tanks, So here we are for like 2 hours. We've been up all night. We just had an adrenaline dump coming to this fucking tank, and now we're trying to push start this four-wheeler. We were tired, and it would just slide. Third gear, it would slide.
Bah.
Fourth gear, it wouldn't do nothing, Just finally, after like an hour, we get back up in the parking lot. We're like right there by the highway, and we're pushing it across the parking lot to get it to fucking start. And we're heading back, and something tells me it's like, don't go. So what I did, not that anybody should do this, but most meth heads would take their propane tank or however they would get anhydrous, and they would like hold on to it and ride up in there, and it'd be all fucked up. A cop gets after you, you're not prepared. So I had a rack built on the back of my Raptor. I took a utility ATV rack, drilled holes in my plastic, put this bitch on there. Then it was, and I'm not racist at all, but it was Martin Luther King Day, and I bought this Red Ryder wagon because I was hanging out in Colt.
Mm-hmm.
And I filled it up with a bunch of watermelons because they were all my buddies and they were having a party. So I thought it was funny, like my part about the funny, hanging out at the party, coming to the party. I bought a Red Ryder wagon with the wood grain rails.
Oh yeah.
And I filled that bitch up with watermelon. Came over to the party. They loved me. We ate, hung out. So when I got done with that, I took the Red Ryder wagon, the wheels off, and I turned it sideways on that rack, and I bolted it down to the rack. Then I took 2 milk crates and put them in the Red Ryder wagon, but it had that sweet wood grain. Inside's 2
Classy
milk
but
crates.
trashy.
Classy but trashy. It even said Radio Flyer.
Oh,
on
baby.
it, on the back
Talk
of it.
dirty
It was
to
a
me.
bad motherfucker, dude. And so why I did this was I could take, say a feller was gonna want to, you're going to get 1 tank, why not get 2 tanks? So I had 2 deals, and I'd put 2 propane tanks in the back of these, and I could just 1 bungee cord over the top. Now if the cops get behind me, I got a counterweight. Wow, I can really float some
Oh yeah,
wheelies.
baby.
And they're not falling off. I'm not holding under my arm, trying to shift with my foot. So I would pull up. But anyways, let me get back to my story because I got way off. We were coming back to my truck. I had my little rack, and I said, let's stop and stash this tank in the ditch before we go back to the truck, just in case. So I stash it. When I pull back into that house where my truck was parked, there's another truck there, and a fucking dude out shooting a pistol at a target, and my truck's like back here behind his house he's building. I'm like, fuck. I pull in. I just go straight to the ramps, ride my 4-wheeler up, and we're talking. He comes over. He's like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, I used to go ride 4-wheelers up in this whole area with this guy named Mike Treadwell. He's dead now too, so I can talk about him. But so I knew like the whole area, and everybody knew Mike Treadwell had these big 4x4s. They had CBs, and there'd be like 30 of them riding on the weekend. So I tell this guy, I'm like, well, I came up here to ride the trails with Mike, but I couldn't remember where his house was, so I just thought I'd park here because I knew where the trails were, but I didn't know where the hell he lived, and I couldn't get a hold of him. And the guy's like, no, that's cool, man, that's fine. So like my stories work, and dude, about that time, a truck comes by, and it's fucking Mike Treadwell.
Oh fuck.
And he honks and waves at us, and we're both like, wave. And I was like, well, there he is.
I better
was,
go get
yeah,
him.
I'm gonna follow him on down. It was the weirdest thing ever. So like we got out of that. So I've got more stories along those lines. One time I went to I only went like 3 times. I think that's all the feds know about, but maybe 4. So each time I got like a half a time, really. You know what I mean? So that's why it sounds like I went so many times. But another time I went to Old DuQuoin, which is in DuQuoin. I come flying up on my 4-wheeler. I was just a crazy, strung out addict at this point. Like, once I figured out how I could make the shit myself, then it was like no going back. It's like somebody is addicted to a drug that can make it with shit from Walmart. It's a pretty fucking bad scenario, you know what I mean? So at this point, I'm like all in, and I just ride my Raptor like it was a fucking car. I guarantee I was in over 150, 200 police chases because I had so many little cutoffs. Like I might be on the road for a minute and cut through this, who knows whose property. It's 20 years ago. We didn't have trail camera, cell cam shit, So, anyways, I don't know where the fuck I was going. Oh, I went to Old DuQuoin. I come flying up. I'd always do this little move where I'd kill my engine so I could coast up. I'd get going wide open and kill it. I could coast like a fucking quarter mile. I kill my engine. I fly up to the anhydrous place, and as I coast into the parking lot, 2 dudes come running out of the tanks. And I'm like, I'm doing the same thing they're doing, but they thought I was the cop.
Hey man,
So,
we can work together here.
yeah. No, get out of here, go on. I took their hose and shit and filled mine up. They're already ready. And then another time, I only went there twice. This is how hot this place was. First time I pulled in on 2 dudes. The next time I'm in there, I'm turning the valve, got my tank filling up, and I see this car coming. So I'd always shut the tank off because they smoke real bad, I'd shut it off. I see a car coming, smoking a cigarette. And I hear the side door of a van slide open. It's like, and then I hear 2 propane tanks basically fly out the side of a van, and I see 2 dudes jump out the side, and the van keeps going. So I've got my tank off, and I wait till they run in, and I turn it on, and then again they take off running. I'm like, hold on, it's okay.
Yeah,
Like
you can have some of this
yeah.
too, bud.
The only one we talked to was we had a trail in Marion behind it, there's a big creek we'd cross. And then we had a trail that came right up in there. And one night we were coming out of this is the third time that I went. Um, we were coming up out of there and I seen this blue flashlight and we had like an anhydrous tank on the four-wheeler, blue flashlights flashing at me. And I'm like, dude, that's a cop. My buddy's like, that ain't a cop. He's like, let's go see who it is. I'm like, what
Great
the
idea.
fuck? Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We go over there, and it's a fucking dude walking in with his tank. He's like, how was the pickings, boys? We're like, they're good, man. He was like, all right, I was about to go get me some too. We're like, fuck yeah,
All
bro.
right, well,
Hit it up. She's ready.
warmed her up for you.
Yeah, warmed her up. We got her hot. So that was some of the things we used to do when we were running wild and just crazy addicted to
What do you think
drugs.
happened at the farm supply store? Like, do you think they didn't realize they were selling half-full tanks to farmers?
No, they got gauges on them.
Oh, okay.
So-
I wonder how that comes full circle. How they figure out?
So, well, there's, from what I've heard, speculation is that these tanks have got a plastic cap that's pretty much special to that, and it's on a little chain that goes to the valve. So the valve's got a cap on it. So 9 times out of 10, that cap's left off, and there's like a gas can. See, that's why people are so silly. I had buddies that were like blind, looked like Freddy Krueger from this shit blowing up on them and getting on them. And they would use gas caps, like off a gas can.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, oh yeah, that works the best. So I'm like, okay, well, the farm boy didn't tell me what fucking cap to use. You know, he just showed me how to do it. So I'm going to try what everybody else is doing. I get the gas cap. It's the first time. And I stick a hose through it. And I tape it up. And I pull it tight. And I'm taping it all up, trying to just make a hose in the center of it. And I use it. And that shit's like spraying out everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But while I'm there, I see that there's like these plastic caps. Like, you have to take off a plastic cap to put on the non-correct threaded cap. Like, this is fine threads, and that's like gas caps, like coarse, you know, so it's just like not screwing on. So I start jerking the chains and taking the caps that are made for them and drilling holes.
There you go.
I mean, come on, guys. And I never
Hey,
had
we
an
might
issue.
meth heads might not be smart, but we're fucking crafty.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
I fucking watched Pawpaw do a thing or two in my
Oh,
day,
yeah.
you know? So, one way they would know, they got valves on them, like pressure gauges. So it'd be like 80% like our propane tank. Another way is there's a fucking garden hose and a gas cap hanging off of it. Or all the caps are stolen. Because if they're smart, they take those caps.
See, I was a, I guess, late age meth head. I got
Oh, I
into
didn't
it
know you
like,
did meth.
yeah,
Yo, go ahead.
yeah. See, I didn't have to go through all the trouble of making it and stealing shit. I just, I bought it from some
Meth head.
crackhead. Yeah,
Yeah.
some meth head.
Yeah.
You know the difference between a crackhead and a meth head?
Oh, no.
Crackhead will steal your shit. Meth head will steal your shit, but help you look for it.
You know the difference between a chromosome and a hormone?
Ah,
Chromosome don't moan.
no, I don't know. I got into it like 2016, I think.
Oh.
So,
How old are you, Mitch?
35.
Okay. You just look older.
Yeah, it's a gray hair. Fucking kids, man.
I'm joking.
Silver Fox coming out fucking good.
Yeah. So you're 35. You got home from the military. So that seems like so yesterday, doesn't it, at least?
That does, dude.
Like, time's flying. It's hard to comprehend that we're in 2024 now.
Like
It's
that.
still 10 years ago, but like it seems like 3 years ago.
It's fucking wild, man. They say as soon as you have kids, that time flies, and they ain't fucking lying at all.
Right. I know it. Yeah, we just had Ethan the other day.
Like yesterday.
And like he's already like, I don't want to cuddle. And I'm like, you don't want to cuddle? Don't say that. Yeah, don't you ever say that.
Yeah.
We'll always cuddle.
So you're fucking 18.
Yeah, you're fucking cuddling right
Yeah,
here.
right here.
You should say.
I'm gonna go
I think
make
it's
Mason cuddle.
interesting. You should say, because you were just getting home from prison when he.
Okay. Now that we got further instruction from Ellie.
That's the producer's job.
Goddamn right it is.
I was trying to have that in the skit, dude. Back up. I was trying to
Well,
put it in the
That's why we
skit.
married up, you
Yeah.
know. If we would have married in our you know, range, we'd been fucked.
I tried it
He'd still be
once.
in prison. I'd still be
Yeah. I
fucking
tried it
figuring out how
once.
to
It's
cook meth, I
horrible.
guess.
Yeah. So that's interesting that what the fuck was interesting? I forgot. Yeah, so I was addicted. My addiction was from like 2000 and well, I was 15 to 2000 and about the time I was like 25. So whatever range that was. But I was getting home in 2015, so that's when you were getting back from the military.
Yeah.
From where'd you go to? Iraq?
Yeah, well, I went to Iraq in 2009 to 2010, and then 2013 I went to Afghanistan. But getting my hand fucked up, man, it just like stripped me of everything. Like I was over, you know, you train for 2 years with all these guys to go, you know,
Right.
fight a fucking war, and you get over there, then for because of some other dude's fucking incompetence, your hand's all fucked up, and you don't. I didn't know how bad it was. They're like, no, you're going home, and it'll probably be the end of your military career, you know.
Damn.
I was like, well, fuck, and I
How
joined.
bad was it?
It was pretty fucking bad.
What happened?
So I was we did route clearance. I was a mechanic, so we had this. It's called a Husky. It's like a single man mine clearance vehicle that's made to get blown up by IEDs. So like the axles or the they call them mods are meant to shear off.
Okay.
So we had one get hit. We got it get it drugged back to the fob, and we had like I think 2 civilian contractors that like stayed with us that were like master trained or whatever.
Right.
And it was my fucking day off for whatever reason. I was like, well, I'll help Bo, this fucking straight up redneck, didn't even move his lips when he talked.
Fucking
Motherfucker
Bo.
from Georgia, just, oh, what are you doing? So I get down there and he got his like 3/4 inch impact, like a inch and 5/8, trying to take these fucking nuts off this axle mod. So I spin the 4 nuts off and like pull 3 of the 4 bolts out. And I'm like, what the fuck's up with that other one? And I put my hand in there and like grab it. About that time, Bo was like, I got it, bud. And hits it with a punch and a hammer, and that fucking leaf spring of that axle come up and just fucking pins my hand. I mean, just so I'm like,
probably like a 2-ton spring or
the
something.
truck itself was rated for 9 ton per axle. So,
Damn. Right.
So I'm like, God damn it, you know, and it wasn't hurting or anything. Time all I could just see was the fucking meat of my hand, and then at dawn I was like, oh fuck, this is bad. So my buddy Stookie, who was like, I don't know, 5'8", 130 pounds soaking wet, runs and gets this big ass fucking tanker bar, and he's fucking running back with it. And he jams in there. He's trying to pry out, and he's fucking hanging on it, swinging on it like fucking Tarzan. And finally, pull my hand out enough, and I look down at it, and I can just see through the top of my hand to my palm,
Oh.
and blood just starts fucking pouring, man. And they said I remember waking up in a fucking tent with like 3 different nationalities of doctors, like all hovered around me, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? They say I went into shock. They loaded me up in a Chevy Love truck.
Damn, Chevy loves
Chevy
sweet.
fucking Love. I still got the key to it. They're
Are
like,
they
hey,
newer? Or are they 84?
oh, they're
models?
like early 80s.
Okay.
Right side drive at that.
Right.
So I'm in there and they're like talking all this shit. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Hand me I guess a fentanyl lollipop, they said, to fucking calm me down and shit. So, yeah, they like reset. They're like, all right, we're going to reset your hand. And I'm like, I didn't really comprehend what that entailed till they literally, I got some pictures I can show you guys if you want to, you can clip them in if you want.
Are they
But
gory?
they're pretty nasty.
I love gory shit.
So mind you, I had like 6 surgeries on my hand until the 5th one, or till after the 5th one, my hand was like drawn up like that.
Really?
Like,
you got a strong arm.
A fucking strong
You'd be
hand. I was stirring the
yeah,
mashed
you'd be like,
potatoes,
grab my
baby.
strong
Yeah.
hand. Stevie'd be like, I don't want to grab your strong
No,
hand.
get that thing fuck away from me.
She'll be like, baby, can you use your strong hand tonight? Call it the stranger.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't even feel
Yeah.
nothing. You're
Who is
just
this
moving your shoulder.
So they like reset my hand and shit, and I like pass out again. So long story short, I asked the guys, I asked like my chain of command, I was like, am I gonna stick around? Am I gonna have to go home or what? And they're like, no, you're going home. It's pretty fucking bad.
So where were they working on you at over there?
Yeah, and we were at like a remote ass fob, like in
It's like
South.
sand getting it in and shit.
Yeah, like
You're like, damn, close the curtain,
Yeah, fuck.
please.
We were like Southwest Province, like Ghazni. So we were like 75 clicks from anywhere.
Okay.
So anyway, I go back and I'm all just fucking depressed and shit. And I end up flying to Germany. I have another surgery there. Then I fly back to Walter Reed in DC. I have, I think, 2 more surgeries there over 2 weeks or so. Finally get back to Fort Bragg, where I was stationed. And mind you, this whole time I was married back then. Thank God, not anymore. My ex-wife, who was also in the Army. So
Oh, I bet she was.
the phone call she gets from my chain of command was, "Hey, your husband's been hurt. He's being flown to Germany, and that's all we can tell you right now. That's all we know." So for, I think, a week and a half, that's all she had till I could get to Germany, to where I actually had some way to fucking reach out to her.
Right.
So I bet that was a fucking toll on her, but fuck her, she deserved it. So
Right.
no, but
Take
that's
that.
take that, bitch.
You know she's a handful when she's in the military, though.
Dude.
You're like, I'm gonna get a chick that I'm assuming is probably fairly decent looking. I'm gonna put her around thousands of dudes that ain't had no pussy in 6 weeks. It's not gonna work.
Let
out
nature
good.
take its course.
Yeah,
bud.
let's just see what happens here. I
That
trust
should have
you
been my
like that.
first red flag.
Yeah. So then you came home. Your
Yeah,
hands fucked up.
hands fucked up.
Were you on some sort of like short-term disability or something? Or
No, I was
how are
still
you
on
getting
active
paid?
duty, still having to
Okay.
show up to work and shit. So mind you, all my company's still in Afghanistan, So I got like 3 people I know out of, at one point in time knew everybody. They're all fucking gone. I'm on rear detachment, they called it.
You got like old bootlicker that
Yeah, like
yeah,
I've been in 25 years, but they're finally kicking me out. And you got
right,
some dude that's been fucking eating them fentanyl lollipops in the barracks and
right.
on his way out.
You come back to your medicine cabinet, you're like, fuck,
God damn.
I just got to deal with this hole through my head.
Yeah, no
today.
shit. So I'm like I said, I was married. I was already dealing with like a fucking shit marriage. We both knew it wasn't gonna last. We made 3 times as much money in the being married in the military as what we would not
Right.
being married.
I know all about it. I know a buddy that done it, got married, and then, I guess they fucked after they got married just because, they're young. Dude's like 20, whatever, 18. He's like, hey, if I get married, it's going to be a lot better. And the girl's like, all right, so they got married. They consummated it or whatever. But that was it, like one time. And then they would figure out however one would help the other with money. So then at the end, when they went to get divorced, the bitch tried to take him for all his shit. She tried to get him
No,
for
no, no.
Yeah, it was like completely separate deal. Like they weren't never dated, They just done it because they got married. So they're like, well, might as well have sex. And then like 4 years later, 5 years later, she sued him and tried to take all his shit.
God damn.
Yeah, you gotta watch them.
They're fucking conniving little bitches sometimes.
Yeah. You think you're fucking somebody and here you are getting fucked
Master
up
plan
on the
behind
back
everything.
end. Yeah, you're just taking it and shoveling it this way. At the end, you don't have a piece of cake.
Oh fuck.
So they finally discharge you, or
No, I
just
went.
tell you can't come to work no more?
So that was 2013. Didn't get out till 2015. So I spent like a year and a half, I'd say, just therapy, fucking occupational therapy, physical therapy, absolutely limited to being able to do nothing, which makes you feel like shit. So you're
Right.
just showing up to exist pretty much. Well, I fucking tried like hell. After my 6th surgery, they finally like cut some tendons in it and got to where I can, halfway straighten it up now. I mean, it's still whatever. I don't know. I'm blessed enough to still have a hand,
Right.
so I look at the good in it. But I shoot left-handed and I couldn't, hold a rifle, couldn't do push-ups or pull-ups or anything. Not that I could never do many in the first place, but
Right.
so I'm like going through all that shit. Mind you, my hand's fucked up. They're throwing pain pills at me like fucking
Are
crazy.
they like, hey, how's that work? They give you like
Dude, I was
little
getting like,
check.
I was getting
Here's
like
$100,000 to make you happy type deal.
eventually it came around to that.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, look,
They're
got-
just riding you out. They're like, just
Yeah.
sit here by the water fountain today.
yeah.
You'll be good. We'll come back to get you later. Don't move.
Watch these kids on extra duty rake leaves for fucking
Yeah.
18 hours a day.
Yeah, and here's a rake in case you get bored.
In case you get bored. But don't use your bad hand.
Yeah.
So they're throwing like 180 perk 20s at me a month, like 180 Vicodin for breakthrough pain. So I'm just fucking miserable. Drinking fucking whiskey nonstop with it, revert back to all my buddies being in Afghanistan fighting a war that I felt like I was stripped of. So
Right.
from then till when I got into recovery in 2019, I'd lost every bit of my like self-worth, like my purpose, my
They show
go.
up and you're like the dude on the couch and How Hot, or what was that movie? Half Baked.
Yeah.
The dude's on the couch. They're like, Mitch, is that you? You're like, hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
You got a big beard and shit. Just been here waiting on you.
Waiting on you guys. It fucking
2
took you
years,
so
man.
long.
Damn. So then you got out and you came back home.
Yep. So February 2015, to go back to that severance check they give me for, I forget how they calculate it, but I was sitting pretty, you know. So I moved home. I'm divorced. I have no responsibilities.
Did you blow it all in a week?
I will give it probably 3 weeks, but
3
it wasn't
months, 3
very.
weeks. Yeah.
It didn't take
It
very
goes
long.
fast whenever you
Real
just
fucking
get it
fast.
randomly. Like, here's $100,000. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck, all right.
See how fast I can pass this shit out.
So I'm just like, fuck it. I walked the straight and narrow, other than drinking and, you know, pain pills when I was on active duty, but I never did fucking like drugs. I ate mushrooms a time or two, did
Right.
acid. I might have snorted coke once, but it wasn't the risk and reward it just wasn't
Right.
there for me. So I get home, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get me some
Did
fucking.
Did you do your one hit of coke while you're overseas?
No, I wish I would have.
I always wondered, like, if you're over there, not that I would, but like, I didn't serve my country, but that's probably why. Because if I was over there, I'd be kicking a door and I'd be in there with them, fucking.
Give me some opium. Let me take
snorting
it home.
coke. I'd be like, oh, my
Where's
bad.
May at?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck, he's down at the end of the block.
I'm just
again.
gonna run. I'll run back. I'll beat him there.
Roundhouse. Yeah. I got a fucking do-rag thing on my head. I show back up. You're like, Jesse,
You're on the wrong side, bro.
Yeah, your Ramadan or whatever still on top of your fucking head.
A schmuck,
Schmuck.
a turban, whatever.
There you go. Ooh. Anyways.
Where were we?
Then you done a little math.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, no,
could
see, I
you
didn't even.
work?
I didn't. Yeah, I got a job. I was working for a fiberglass and gel coat business in Frankfurt, and just it was like $9 an hour to do
Was
the
it
most
Crown Line?
wounded rig.
Okay. Yeah, no.
So the owner had known my dad forever. I'd known him forever. I was like, I need something to pass the time. I learned a new trade, which, by the way, you couldn't pay me $1 million a fucking year to do
Fuck no,
fiberglass.
no
Fuck
way.
that shit,
Talk about itching.
dude. It's just
Fuck
fucking.
everything.
And I had like paper suits, but they
Right.
quit at like a size medium.
Right.
You know,
you
so I'm
rip
like,
the ass out like
as
right
soon as I
away.
bend over, well, this thing's
Yeah.
fucking you. And I got to fight it for 30 minutes trying
All
to get it
over
off.
your back. Yeah, fiberglass sucks. And I got sensitive skin. I'd always look like a chicken pox.
Oh, that's
I worked
fucking
at
awful.
Crown Line.
Yeah. So you know all about it.
I know all about it. Yep.
So, you know, I'd do some coke and I'm smoking weed and shit, but I'm not like really hardcore into it. Well, I asked, he's like a distant cousin of mine, fucking piece of shit. I was like, hey man, you know, back in the day, you could get some stuff. Can you get me some blow? And he's like, yeah, man, I got you. So I go and pick him up. He goes, does his thing, and he's like, oh, let's break out of line. I said, well, fuck yeah. And he breaks this shit up, and I wasn't paying no attention. I fucking snort it, and lights
Feel like
me
your
on
ears
fire.
gonna
I'm
blow
like,
off.
what the fuck was that? And he goes, well, that was ice, man. I was like, ice? What the fuck is ice? I didn't even know what the shit was, you know.
Right.
He was like crystal, man. What the fuck is crystal?
Right,
He
I
goes,
wanted some fucking Coke.
fucking meth,
I didn't say
dude.
Mountain Dew. I wanted a fucking Coke.
Yeah. Now I'm like, God damn. Well, it fucking hits after about 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, God damn. I'm like, all right.
Right.
All
Like,
right.
I kind of do like that.
So
Ice.
yeah, you know what? Bring me another 50 bag. Fuck it. So I fuck around with that for a little bit, and I'm just doing it for fun. And I'm talking like I'll do it on the weekends or whatever.
Right.
And you know as well as any of them, it grabbed me like fucking that, man. And within like a month, I'm like fucking full blown just.
It's like Tuesday stretch, and you're like, okay, if I don't do it Wednesday,
Yeah.
and then I start back Thursday, it's a day off.
Yeah.
Still.
And that means I don't have a problem.
Yeah,
So
I think I can make that. And then after that, you're like, fuck Wednesday. Yeah.
but yeah, that shit just fucking grabbed a hold of me, man. And it went from being fun to having to have it to it taking priority over fucking everything, you know. So, and I really didn't have to work. I chose to work. Just, you know, I've always had a job because I got, you know, a decent
Bills.
disability. And yeah, bills. That's a big factor. The meth
Yeah.
bill. So I can get by if I wasn't doing meth and drinking all the time, just on, the disability and whatnot, but that's no way to live.
Yeah, I don't know how
So,
many times throughout my life I've been like working and I'm like, okay, I got $400 left this month to spend. And then I'd like come across a drug that was really cheap that I liked. And I'd be like, holy fuck, so I can get high 23 days
yeah,
and still be living good.
yeah, hell yeah.
Like running numbers in my
We're
head.
fucking crafty, I'm telling you
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. So you're telling me I can get that much for $50?
All right. Now
I'd
cut
do
me a
that.
deal. What do you do for 100?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it. I don't gotta pay that electric bill.
I got a few ramen tucked back there in the back of the cabinet just for that
Right.
reason. Not that I'm
Right.
going to eat, but,
No. So then how long did you deal with that?
that was a solid 3 years, man. Like, and I'm
Don't get
talking
too
now.
far. Don't get past 5 years. I think statute of limitations is 5 years. We were at 2015. We're at 18 now, so let's
Okay.
not go no further. No.
So it's just getting to where I've lost fucking everything. Like, I had a badass Harley, fucking had a nice house. It ended up getting burnt down because of some shady people I got involved with that happened to ride motorcycles.
Right.
So going through all that, and like slowly all my family's just kind of walking away, and I'm to the point now where I'm just like, what the fuck do I have? What am I doing? So I try to clean up, doesn't fucking work. I'm like, what's the point? At this point in time, I'm fucking single, living it up.
Oh yeah, dude. When I was single, living it up,
It-
my bed was on like I didn't have an under the bed thing that holds the bed up. Yeah, I didn't have a bed frame. It was just like box spring, if I was lucky, on the floor. No fucking skirt.
No, fuck no.
A mattress on top of that. Maybe a sheet.
Maybe a sheet.
Like
If not, a
looking
sleeping
back,
bag
dude,
flopped
looking back,
open.
yeah, looking back, I'm like I'll be scrolling Facebook and I see a bed. It's like, where's this location? I'm like, oh, it's fucking Sheila's, and then it's like West Frankfurt or so, just one of those memes.
I know that
But I'm
motherfucker.
like, oh, that's Sheila's house. Yeah, I'm in there.
Mhm.
So yeah, single life's tough. But so you're single, and then
So-
all of a sudden you walk into Black Diamond one day and there's beautiful Stevie
we
looking down at or looking up at you and everything.
it started long before Black Diamond, I guess. She dated one of my buddies in high school, so I knew who she was.
You've been thinking about that for a long time.
Oh, dude, since fucking 2005,
Yeah,
but
you've
I've
been
been,
thinking about that
I've
for a
been
long
right
time.
here.
Yeah, I
And-
see. I'll be coming back.
Okay, I'll be back. Give me about 15 years. Yeah, so I had no motivation, no drive, no reason, purpose, anything to get cleaned up. I'm single, whatever. I run into Teddy's one night, and there's these Stevie Rays sitting at the bar. I'm like, God damn. So
God damn, I've been thinking about this for the last 8
well,
years.
let's back up. Let's back up. I was dating a girl between then and when I got home, and I ran into her at Frenchman's Widow when she was working there.
Okay.
And I would have just let my girlfriend at the time watch if she would have even given me the light of day.
Right.
So, anywho, so we get to talking and stuff. Long story short, we start talking, we start dating. Mind you, I'm still doing drugs, but not like I once was. Still drinking, we're still partying, whatever. She never remotely even did any kind of thing other than drinking. So, I go to rehab. Whatever. She's like, you need to go get clean. I go to the VA for 2 weeks. I had no interest in getting clean. Once again, I didn't want to get clean. Somebody
Right.
else wanted me to get clean, but I didn't want it. So I go through that, just kind of blow through it.
That's a hard one to get off of too. It's
Dude.
like you gotta want to get off of it.
Yeah.
Just like people being like, get off of it. And you're like, but why?
Yeah. This goes on for a little bit, and then I slip up, and she finds the shit, and she says, look, either you're going to go to inpatient treatment for a long time, or you're literally not going to have a pot to piss in. Like, you're getting the fuck out, or you're going to fucking treatment tomorrow. So once again, and that was like my fucking rock bottom. I was like, it's literally all about to be fucking gone if I don't get my shit right this time.
You're like, who the fuck looks on the top shelf of the medicine cabinet?
No, I was a
Like,
fucking
damn,
idiot.
I
I
thought
left
for
it
sure
right
she
on the
wouldn't have
fucking
found that
counter.
there.
But
On the counter?
I was fucking high. You don't
Right.
think,
Left it out.
Yeah. So whatever. I go up to St. Louis again, do the 2-week program, and then I'm looking at like long-term, you know, VA related programs or whatever. Well, I find this one in Topeka, Kansas. It's like a stress disorder treatment program where it's not all about addiction, but it has an addiction track in it. But it was like to get down to like bottom of my PTSD and shit.
So this is something you could just go do without paying for because of the military.
Yes.
Like, so
Yeah.
you paid for it.
And I mean, it was a top-notch
So
facility.
there you go.
Like,
If you're homeless, go to the VA, see if you can get in a,
hook them up, man, you know?
it's some different avenues you could take, you know. But go ahead. So it was an inpatient.
Yeah. So it was a 7-week program. So I go out there and really working the program, like really dedicated to it. I was like, I got to get my shit together. This
You
is
got a
going.
picture of Stevie on the wall, like Rocky. You know what I mean? You're like, burn, 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 burn.
So I go through all this, man, and it's some fucking like deep dive down into my childhood, like therapy, bringing up all this shit that I didn't even realize was a problem from like when my mom and dad split when I was 4,
Right.
to, you know, getting hurt in the Army and not having a sense of purpose or, you know, just, you know, any self-confidence or anything. And it just fucking tore me down and started building me back up. And I like progressively see it, you know, working. So I go through that. And I go to graduate, they had like a little graduation ceremony, and Stevie was coming, and then she had orchestrated my best friend from the Army, Chad, to meet up with her in St. Louis and then drive out to Kansas and surprise me. So I'm like, you know, probably the proudest myself I've ever been, like getting through this. Like I have no desire, you know, I'm not thinking in the back of my head,
Right.
like, man, I got some shit stashed away, or I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
once you get
drunk.
over
Or,
it, then it's like,
dude, it was like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so they come out and we had a great time and whatever. And we ended up going to like a Cardinals Cubs game in St. Louis. And I had this deal. I was like, I'm going to propose to Stevie. So I had a ring, ordered a ring, got it sent out to the rehab center I was in. Tell Chad, my best friend, he's the only person that knew about it. And fucking nervous as fuck. Like we go downtown St. Louis, and we're like underneath the arch, and I have like this ring tucked to my sock. I was like, hey, Chad, take a picture of us. So he's recording it, and I get down on one knee, ask her to marry me, and she said yes. I can't believe it, but
Right. Yeah,
so
I gotta lock this in quick.
got right now. We're not even getting back to Illinois,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I
But
know the feeling.
from literally from that treatment program to now, I've never so much even thought about like, man, I just want to get high one more time, or I want to drink, or
Right, you don't even drink right
no,
now, right?
I'm stone cold sober.
Yeah, that always
I
messes
take
me
some
up.
heartburn medicine every day.
It always messes me up. I always think we're drinking, and then I'll realize he's not
Sweet
drinking.
tea, baby.
And then I'm like, fuck, what'd I say to him? Because I was drunk.
Oh, it doesn't
He
bother me
remembers
one bit.
everything I said. We were taking down a notch.
But yeah, I've never had so much a desire to drink, use anything, just for the fear that she'd be gone, my kids would be gone, I'd have nothing, and I'm not even talking about materialistic shit. Just
Right,
everything would be gone. Everything I've worked for, everything we've worked for,
right.
and
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Stevie and Mitch are one of those couples that we watched from like when they first got together, probably. How long have you guys been together now?
6 years, 6.5
So,
years.
About that long is how long we've known them, somewhere in there. And and just seeing them build as a couple and grow as a couple has been interesting. Stevie, your wife, is like the number one top realtor probably in America. I don't know. If not, she should be.
That's not too far fetched.
Yeah, it's not very far fetched. If not, look her up on the billboards in there or house to home. But she sells good houses. So she's like the number one.
Yeah, she's a top producer in
She's
Southern
top
Illinois.
dog. She's
Yeah.
like winning things. So she's real busy. You got to imagine if you're number one real estate agent, you're busier than shit. And Mitch got into the carpenters
Yep.
union. So that's like around here, that's like being a fucking doctor, basically. And then Stevie, who got into real estate, which she just done that probably 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, it'd been about right at 5 years or so. Yeah.
Right. So she gets into that. She's killing it. Now she's going to school to be is it a lawyer or
Yeah,
attorney?
lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah, same
She's
thing.
full blown law student.
She's a full-blown law student. So they've got two kids.
2 kids.
They've got 2 kids and 35, and Stevie's probably,
We won't
22,
reveal.
I don't know.
Yeah, 20 something, 21 maybe.
Yeah, 21, 22, somewhere there. But they're busier than hell and still adding stuff to your plate, which we think's interesting and we admire that. So
Man, she never
it's
lets us
inspiring.
fucking settle ever. It's always bigger and better things. And for somebody who would have been all right with
A camper
kind of,
down by the river.
there you go. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in. It still is, but she just pushes every day. She doesn't let us settle. She always wants to be better. She always pushes me to be better, which in return is gonna, make our kids,
Right.
look up and see that your mom was still a rock star mom, rock star wife.
What it
What-
is, I think, is like we've all just realized that fuck, it's really not that hard if you just, I mean, the hard part is the work and
Yeah.
doing the work and being consistent, but like you can find out all the information you want. Like, say, I want to, whatever the fuck you want to do. You want to be like Stevie's going to be a lawyer. So she figured out, hey, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to sign up, get into law school, and done it. And like now she's just on this roller coaster of like, next thing you know, she's going to be a fucking attorney.
Oh yeah, like goddamn, that went quick.
Yeah, it goes by quick. You just got to do the work and, come up with a plan. You can't just come up with 20 different plans and be like, oh, I'd like to do that. And then the next day wake up and watch fucking MASH until noon,
Yeah.
smoking some weed.
And she's not just doing it. She is like just fucking top notch. I forget what the top 10 of her class, just
She's going all in.
yeah. I don't know what she's way too smart to be with my dumb ass, but
Right.
and he can't these good looks though,
Right.
and she just my sense of humor she finds just so
I wish I had a mic. It's that I think it's realizing the importance of having those valuable relationships. Like you guys both are good husbands, and then we are good wives back. And I think when you find that and value those relationships over the drugs and the party and the high, like that's your high, which you kind of said before, like your kids and keeping them happy. And then you're supporting her in this journey, which puts more pressure on you, as a husband. Now she's in law school and working, and you're working, and you have kids, but you're supportive and that's showing her love and support. And so you guys are growing together just like we do.
100%. And you go back to that Black Diamond thing, she started out selling motor clothes at Black Diamond shortly after we got together.
They're like, here, can you sell this today?
Dude, she could sell pussy on a troop train. I mean,
Right.
so
Or
not-
fucking oceanfront property in Idaho or whatever.
So they're like, they see the potential and they're like, hey, do you want to sell motorcycles? And she's like, sure. So mind you, I've always been a Harley guy, whatever. She's like, I don't know the first thing about motorcycles. So I go out in the garage and literally get Post-it notes put all over my motorcycle, like primary cover, clutch cable, throttle,
Right.
turn signal, all these different components. And I'm going over with her, like teaching her all as much as I can about motorcycles and selling them, mind you. She's a natural at it. She goes in, and I forget, I don't want to say she was a top salesman consistently, but there was several months, there's probably more months than, none that she sold more than guys have been there for, 10 years or better.
She's a hell of a salesman. We've got that figured out.
Yeah. So she kind
Now
of,
she's gonna have to be a debater. What do lawyers do? Do they debate? Like, is that what it's called?
Prove their case.
Prove their case.
defend
she'll
their
kill it,
clients. Oh,
dude.
dude, she's going to be,
What would she go after? Like a state attorney or a federal? Is there different degrees? Or anything, I guess.
yeah, she doesn't know if she wants like the personal injury side of it or, she's still undecided on what kind of attorney. I know
Yeah.
she'll be the best.
She should use
best
her two
one.
fields or whatever field she's been in, and like I'm sure that real estate's probably needing attorneys all the time.
Yeah.
She's already the number one dog.
No, she's going
Fucking
to
be passing them cards out. Here's the house, and if they don't fucking
you
come
breach that
through-
contract, I'm going to fuck you up.
yeah, they don't come through, give me a call back. So yeah, that's awesome.
So she's like selling bikes and stuff, and she, like I said, she's always wanting like more go above and beyond. She's like, and her mom ran a real estate company, so that's kind of how she got into it. She's like, well, what do you think about me getting into real estate? I got this,
Did you work there too, or just her
just her.
at Black Diamond? Okay,
I just
go ahead.
donated all my money there.
Right.
So she's like, do you think I should, go into real estate. And I was like, well, fuck yeah, you know. And I didn't know if it'd be the best option or not, but I was like, fuck it, I got your back. Whatever we got to do, make it work. And
But like even that, don't you have to go to school for the real estate? So yeah, she's not afraid to go knock out
no,
what it takes to get. And that's the thing, like where she's at, most people would be like, damn, that's the golden nugget where you're trying to go, but she's just looking for something bigger now.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, well, I've mastered that. And
Yep.
on top of that, she's doing both of them. Like she not just mastered that and is doing this.
You guys are small business owners. You understand.
Oh.
Whatever everybody sees is, oh man, they got a nice house or they got nice cars or whatever. They're always going places. They don't see the work that you guys,
Right.
my wife puts in on a just daily basis. I mean, fucking 12 hours a day, just phone calls with just unhappy people or people that are wanting something that they can't afford, whatever it may be, you know, but all they see is all the good shit that comes of it. They don't see all the work that she's put in or all the
Has she
risks
got an
she's
assistant
taken.
yet? She probably needs one at this
Yeah,
point.
she's got one.
Good.
Yeah, she got a good one under her wing.
Good
So
deal. Yeah, it takes a lot of hard work. That's what Lisa literally gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and gets ready for the day. And she's not done until, well, it's 7 and she's still working. So, and that's daily. And she's still got a couple hours. Shit, the dishes were.
still got to cook a supper too.
She made steak. Yeah, she's done steak. So, anyways,
Yeah, she just kept on going, man. Now, like I said, top producer in Southern Illinois with,
you guys live in like a mansion.
I would live in a nice home.
It's pretty big.
Yeah,
It's a mansion.
it's all right. You know.
Yeah, so Stevie's doing big things, but it goes unsaid in any power couple. It's cool that you're able to pick up the slack where she needs help, because if she's working that much and you guys have 2 kids, somebody's got to take care of the kids or just coordinate and do whatever to help her get through. I can't imagine what she's got to do, studying and fucking closing deals.
Oh, nonstop.
Like, does she keep separate briefcases? I mean, you gotta have
You know,
a
when
lot
Billy
of-
Madison, when he's like trying to read out loud and he's like, today, Junior, I try to
Yeah.
read her law books to her,
Right.
and I'm like, I can't pronounce fucking 6 of these 10
If
words.
she's
What the
anything
fuck
like
is this?
Lisa, she'll be like, McFly,
Yeah.
McFly, is anybody home? Big dumb, I said the binder on the left. And you got to let them do that because they need to vent, you know? So, so here we are. Yeah, we're trying. But no, that's cool. You guys are doing big things. We like watching you. We like knowing you. Now I know more of your story. I kind of knew a little bit, but you're like a big
Yeah, I
intimidating dude.
just
that's not
celebrated-
drunk. So I'm like,
Just celebrated 5 years in July, so that's
5 years.
clean and sober off everything. And
Do you go to any meetings now?
man, I tried like 12-step programs and stuff, and
Right.
they work for some people, but it was, I don't know, I'd had a few months of recovery, like sober time under my belt, and I walked in and just, it made it seem, I'm not dogging any 12-step, any
Right.
whatever recovery programs, but they just kind of like, hey, until you get some significant sober time under your belt, why don't you just sit there in the corner and we'll pretty much
Right.
tell you how to live. So there's some good things I took away from like AA and NA, but a lot of it is just wanting to be and wanting to do better
Right.
and just not,
Them kids at home help a lot too.
dude, I tell you what, man, I
Yeah.
couldn't, that's why
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine.
shit doesn't even cross my mind, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and we go out and we have a lot of our friends drink. Let them, it doesn't bother me at all. We go out to a bar, we go out, people drink. I don't even have a fucking temptation. One, I know we got a sober ride home at the end of the
I
night.
feel bad because like now I know this story. I'm sure there's been times on the bus where I'm like, "Come on, Mitch, drink the fucking beer, buddy."
Oh, this fucking pussy over here.
Yeah, come on, man, drink the fucking beer. So if I did that, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. And we save money, you know, not
Right.
drinking $15 drinks, you know.
Right, dude. We went to Vegas. Well, you just got back.
Yeah.
How was that?
Dude, it was a fucking blast.
Isn't it so fun?
Got to go to Noche UFC in the Sphere.
That's cool.
Dude,
Was it awesome?
Most wild thing I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
If anything would make me want to eat mushrooms, it'd be going back to the Sphere.
Yeah, we saw it from the outside, but not inside.
It was fucking wild.
Yeah. Good times.
It was a
though, huh?
damn good time.
We had a good time.
Yeah. Need to
So-
check it out.
Yeah, if you work hard, you can do shit like that. Go to Vegas, go to UFC in the Sphere. You can eat mushrooms in Vegas.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It would be the time to do it. It's I don't know. I can't do that no more. But maybe in my heyday, I'd give it a shot. But you'd have to be
I
fucking.
don't know if I'd ever come back from
I
it, to
don't
be
either,
honest with you.
dude. Like, there's so many lights. If you had a bad trip and like you was all fucked up and nobody was there to fucking chauffeur your ass out of there, you could be in a bad way, like walking around.
You end up like the motherfuckers
Yeah.
begging for money out on the. How'd they get here? Oh fuck! Now I see.
Right, you're climbing that Eiffel Tower and shit. Fucking.
God damn.
All right. Well, I've been trying to get you on for a while, and I thought you had an interesting story. Like I said, this is just basically people that have been through addiction or not even been through addiction. I just like hearing people's story on how their life is and how their life path got them to where they are now. Because it's easy. When I was younger, I would think, oh, I'm 21. Nobody will hire me. All the jobs I wanted, I didn't think they'd hire me because it was all like the old heads.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I didn't even try. So I just tried meth instead. But go ahead and give it a shot first, see if
Yeah,
it
I see.
works. Because the meth route took a long way to get to where I'm at now. You could go an easier route, so try that. But appreciate having you on.
I appreciate you having me, man. It's been a blast.
All right, buddy. Thanks. Until next time, reckless success. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up. You can follow us on TikTok and YouTube at reckless.success, Instagram at recklesssuccess. We're on Spotify and all major podcast services. Hit that subscribe button, please. For more information on May Excavating, check out our website or TikTok. That's a wrap. Thanks.